I'm going to try to have fun with this. Before Mass, there are certain preparations a priest goes through to get ready for Mass. Some are standard ones. But I received a very good evaluation. Those who go to daily Mass, I've been very dour the last couple days. Fits right into today's gospel, actually, about the lost sheep. But someone recommended, Father, it's just so heavy, and it's all the things going on in the world, and it's just so down, and don't do that to us today. Give us something better. Okay, fair enough. I will take from any of you, and I mean this sincerely, evaluations, critiques, criticisms. Hey, I'm on the job. It's on-the-job training. Okay, I'm open to that. So that's in my mind, so I'm trying to work a little to the positive. I will tell you two things that did shake me out of my intellectual semi-depression, and I'm using these words loosely, but just all the world's events, and I'm not going to name them because I may upset some of you, but some really awful things have been reported in the news lately. Awful things. And I always, because I'm the son of a veteran, I always see it under the flag. That's just how I do things. Like in the United States, I've been around the world. I see the flag waving, and I hear about horrible things, and they make me sad. People living with sheep, people like sheep without a shepherd, following false prophets. Two things that shook me out of my rut was, one, I attend a support group where someone said to me, "Oh, those things causing you all this trouble, those things that are beyond your control." I said, yeah, and I knew what he meant. There are lots of things outside of, I'm not the president. I'm not in charge of the UN. I'm not a nuclear weapons inspector. I'm not the pastor. I'm not the bishop. Not the Pope. Aren't you lucky? So anyway, that really helped me. And you know what else helped me? As a alumni of Shriners Hospital, the Shriners Hospital commercial. When the kids with the no arms and the no legs are smiling. And I said to the person who, I'm just being funny now, who was evaluating my homilies, I said, didn't I end the last homily by saying, I should be ashamed of myself for not being grateful every single day of my life that Shriners Hospital gave me the ability to walk. And we've got so many more blessings. We got to focus on them. So point well taken. We could focus too much on the lost sheep and those who have gone away. So this morning, before 7, before coffee, Sean, the seminarian, who's going to preach the 10:30 and the 12. So if you want a good homily, come to the 10:30 or the 12. I'm just giving you the way. So I'm asking him what's his homily. So I'm writing down his notes. Well, it's okay. I remember the one time I was home with my mom and I talked about the great homily I gave, and she said, "You're so horrible. You stole all that material." I go, "I always do. I'm Czech and Polish. I have no original ideas. An eclectic is a spiritual thief." So anyway, I wrote down all the good ideas to balance, the good cop, bad cop, isn't life horrible, but here's the good hope. I left those notes at home. I don't have those notes. So I'm back to bash. No, I'm kidding. It's so come on. I'm in the coffee club, I travel around, and it's not just young people who are, and you know this, they're in my family. They're in your family. They don't go to church. They don't follow the Good Shepherd. I don't know. They're following the media. They're following trends. They're following what's fashion. They're following, hey, who's cool? I said this before. And we'll see if this is an old joke already. This is not funny. First of all, there's teenagers sitting right here, and there's other young people. I didn't know there was a hard time fitting in high school. I didn't know people had a hard time fitting in, socializing, finding their place, camaraderie, choosing a good group of friends. As I mentioned, the high school I went to, I didn't have those issues. I was asked to go to the prom more than anybody else in my high school. Now, granted, I went to an all-boys school. Thank you. Make sure you give a little something extra to those ushers who come around. No, anyway, but it's true, people. It is hard for young people. And it's harder when there's lack of good role models. And the media and people in government and teachers and maybe even some pastors or ministers, they don't preach absolutes. This is right. This is wrong. Billy, don't do that. We saw, or Susie, we saw where that goes. We know where that leads. So, having said all that, it's not just young people, as you well know. It's middle-aged and older. I went to Honduras recently. I went on a trip to Honduras, and because of United Airlines, I have no problem with United Airlines, but there was a glitch in their computers, so they left me in Houston. They paid, don't worry, they paid, okay? But the day I'm flying back to come to Mass, come back to our beautiful, holy, loving parish, I'm having the best hamburger of my life. It was at Ruby's. This is a free advertisement for them. Not Ruby Tuesdays. Don't confuse yourself. It's Ruby's, and it's in the Houston airport. And it's a guac burger, and it's amazing. The guac burger at Ruby's, they allow you to mix French fries and onion rings. Why don't other places let you do that? I'm being very serious. I want my onion rings and my French fries. What's the big deal? I don't want to order two separate orders. It's going to pay more money. Just give me a few French fries, give me a few onion rings. I'll be fine. Why is that such a big deal? Tell that to Burger King. Maybe we'll start a revolution. Or McDonald's. So a woman sits down. She's suspicious looking to me. I won't tell you why. But I tell her to order the guac burger. It's the best burger ever. Matter of fact, switch your fries and your onion rings. Get a mix. So she's buying my story. We're having a nice little chat. We continue into a conversation. She doesn't know me. I don't know her. I'm dressed like one of you. A little nicer, probably. Anyway, that was a cheap shot. I wasn't dressed as nice as the lector, who had his tie on and his jacket. Anyway, I say, what do you do for a living? She goes, well, I'm retired. I was a flight attendant, and I've been around the world. And she says, I'm trying to find myself. And I'm trying to find a place for myself. So I tell her where I've been. She said, oh, no way. You've been to more places than me? And I said, yeah, I've been to a lot of places. I travel. I love traveling. It's one of my hobbies and fascinations to know cultures and languages and people and certainly certain foods. Scuba diving doesn't hurt. Anyway, long story short, she goes, well, where do you think I should live? What are some examples of places you've been to you might think might be good for me? And I just stepped back and looked at her, and I said, with all sincerity, I said, I think you should start within. She said, excuse me? I said, I remember Bruce Willis using this line in another movie. You heard me. Look within. God is within. No matter where you go in life, and I love Crystal Lake, I really do. They can assign us, as you know, anywhere, anytime. I'll take this over Apple River any day of the week, okay? God bless Galena on weekends. But having said that, I went into a few more points. Principles about the kingdom of God, about this is where we should go. And she looked at me with just a bedazzlement and she said, and this is being recorded, I wish she'd find this tape somewhere. This tape can get to her. And she looked at me and she says, so what do you do for a living? And I says, ma'am, I'm a Catholic priest. Without blinking an eye, she says, I do not believe you. So, let me relate that story to one of my coffee shop guys, my coffee club guys, U of I grad, engineer, who told me about this Pluto deal. And this is important. It's related to the woman who's trying to find herself. We found Pluto, right? We go like this. You know this. It's a big deal, though. It wasn't. The news passed me by. I think I turned the channel. But it's a big deal. The scientists' hypotheses were wrong. I wrote some notes on this. They found it in 1929. Is the information I have. They found it in 1929. They didn't know if it was a comet or some asteroid or whatever. It's a planet. It's the farthest away planet. And since 1929, it hasn't gone around the sun once yet. It's so far away and moves so slowly. Think about how fast we're moving. Hasn't gone around once yet. We do 364 and a quarter, right, a year? Keep nodding your head, you're so helping me. Someone knows science here, I love this. People who speak good English sit over here. People who can correct my verb. No, so anyway, what's fascinating, here's what's fascinating about this. The non-believers will use this as an example. It will further their narrative. You see, Father, it ain't about religion. It's about science. Science will fix it. We just got to spend another so many billions and send things up there and this and that. To which I responded, wait a minute. This furthers my narrative. Think about the beauty and the glory of the human intellect that can create a machine. It's not a rover, is it? It's not a satellite. No, it's some other kind of thing with 7 systems on it, with plutonium. Okay, here's my point. This goes for our system. We were created in the image and likeness of God. The capability of the human person is enormous. Did you know they launched it in 206? And to get there, get all the way up to Pluto, they said the probability of the gathering of information, the timing, and the positioning was like hitting a 2-mile hole-in-one. That's profound. I don't do math that high. But again, it reflects the glory of the human being. So, what does this have to do with the women, the kids, and today's gospel? In today's gospel, after the apostles got done saying and telling Jesus all they did and saw, he says, come away with me to a deserted place. We're not going to find the deepest meaning of life out there. We're going to find it in here, where the kingdom of God rests. Where Ignite, someone's going to talk about Ignite, a retreat for youth coming up after the Mass. Stick around. Invite your grandkids. We just had Totus Tuus. That's positive. The kid sitting over there and this kid over, no, both of those guys. When I first got here, they were homeschooled. You guys are great too, don't worry. You guys are great. But these 2 guys served all my Masses. I'll be here 5 years in November. And don't boo. But anyway, there's a lot of good examples. I'm not dour. I am not down. I am not hopeful. I am hopeful. Freudian slip. No, I am hopeful, and I'll tell you why. Because you and I today, at this moment, in this time, in this place, we found the Good Shepherd. And if we continue to be good sheep, Bible-reading sheep, moral sheep, excitable sheep, evangelical sheep, I think we'll start acting like shepherds, and the Lord will console us in our pain, and he will give us an indefectible faith, and he will give us an unyielding perseverance, and he will give us an invincible hope. And no matter what the devil and this world throw at us, we shall walk into the valley of darkness, but with the Good Shepherd we shall fear no evil.